All right. So tell me about this new plugin. What with this new Post-Intercept feature in Team Edition? What is that about?
So you'll be able to intercept a post on creation or on update, and during that interception, you can do one of two things. You can outright reject the message, saying I'm not going to let this get stored, or you can rewrite the message. And so as an example, like let's say you wanted to link some little piece of text to Jira or something, so you could search for the piece of word like, mm- a number, and then auto link that to a Jira ticket or whatever. So this will give you the ability to do that.
So if I so could you write a plugin that would turn swear words into like non-swear words?
Yes. Or you could write a plugin that auto corrects your grammar or capitalizes the first sentence. I mean, there's a lot of, basically like, the sky's the limit. I mean, I think the real power here is being able to slightly detect and rewrite the message. Like, oh, I meant to format this as an agenda. Oh, let me just auto add this hashtag.
Or like if we have like some like AI plugin that recognizes this is like, so in a high security organization, maybe someone accidentally mentioned a code word that they shouldn't have mentioned, and it shouldn't go in the database because there's like permanent, because it would intercept it before it goes to the database, right? Because you're not allowed to delete anything from the database in some of these environments, right? So this plugin option can intercept that. How do I use that plugin option? Like, is that API based? Is it a like, how do I actually physically?
It's API based, so it's a backend plugin, typically written in Go that you can upload to the server. That server has that plugin has a well-defined API interface that you code to. If you code to that face, you can easily get these messages. Or we basically call you in a workflow where it allows you to intercept the message and either allow the message to continue, rewrite it, or reject it.
That's awesome. Is there going to be a sample code for this?
Yeah, the hope is to write a bunch of sample plugins around this.
This is awesome. You can rewrite. Yeah. What's this thing called? Is there a name for it yet?
Post-interception. I don't know if there's a name for it. Post-interception.
Any thoughts on like a cool name for this post-interception?
I think that's a descriptive name. I don't know. I think it's good to have it clear. So yeah.
Okay, so this is the post-interception feature. Is it a plugin? Is it a feature, or is it a plugin architecture? What do you call this? It's an API for post-interception.
It's an API that your plugin can implement and then take advantage of this pipeline, basically. And the goal is to add more and more of these throughout the code base. So where we know there's really strong desire for integration points, we'll add in these sort of pluggable API pipelines.
When does it ship?
Well, this will ship probably, the initial version of it's still all in beta, and we're going to probably change the APIs a little bit. The initial version of it's going to ship in the June timeframe, 5.0.
Is it going to be part of APIv4?
Yes.
It'll be marked experimental at first?
Yes. Well, technically everything in the plugin stuff is still marked beta. So we know there's stuff that we're going to want to change that's going to be breaking changes.
How do people like have conversation? Here's my ask. Are you okay if instead of going into a Mattermost channel that's not web searchable, we post on forum.mattermost and let people like give feedback there so it can be searchable and web discoverable?
Yeah. I mean, about this feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Post-intercept. Who's the owner on the dev side for this feature?
Christopher wrote it.
Okay, got it. So,
but I mean, it's the ABC team's kind of owning it because I think it's kind of everyone providing.
Got it. All right, so I'm excited about this. It's called the Post-Intercept. What's it called? Post-Intercept API?
Post-Intercept API, yeah.
Post-Intercept API that will let you write plugins, server-side plugins, in something like Golang. Is it Golang or can you RPC? Or just
technically can do any language, but I mean, the ones that we have samples for will be Go, so those will be the easiest.
Okay.
Let me clarify. You can intercept the post before save. You can intercept the post before update. And then you can just get post messages. So after the save occurs, you can get a hook that calls out and does something. So you can have some extra action items. So you might still want to let it save into the database, but then not stop the save, but do something afterwards. So there's that for save and update. So you can get post hooks. So there's pre-hooks for save and update, and then there's post hooks for save and update.
Okay, so then like the one scenario would be like, hey, you get a warning message that like, are you sure you want to say this? This could be like, something that you're not allowed to say. in this system that's totally recorded, and you could override that, and after it saves, then the IT admin or some supervisor can actually get the message like, hey, they said that there was a warning here, and they said it was okay to save, and they've saved it, right? An example would be like, that looks like a production key, right? Like, no, that's my handle or something, or that's just a GUID. And then someone's actually get a notification if they detect something that looks like a production.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, so the Post-Intercept API that can be used from the plugins, you heard it here first.
Yes.